What is the best to make a wooden shoe of? Light, strong, extremely easy to work with when you're strong enough. Good against water. Once dry it will stay dry. But most important, it's cheap. And when things are cheap, we really love it. We can use willow, birch, pine, chestnut, any long-grained wood type will do. But the poplar, it hardly costs a cent. And at the end of its career, a wooden shoe is thrown away. So why use something more money than this? This will go into the machine. But suppose I have to make a pair of shoes entirely by hand, as I can. I'll start to make some crude exteriors first. And when I have a pair, I put them up front. And with a big gouger like this, I first chisel out its interior. And when that's completely fitting to the customer's feet, I do exterior, bottom plate, heel section and all. And in about 3 hours time, I just managed to make one tiny pair of shoes like this. At my best, 2-3 pairs a day, and then I'm finished and go home. But the machines make over 200 pairs a day. But just by copying. A model rotates, that bar sensing up and down motion, and like a 3-dimensional key copier, this will be copied into the wood bar. Left and right he can run simultaneously, they drive away from each other. Exterior shape, the interiors, according to the same principle, and in about 2 minutes time, one pair of shoes. But I'm lucky, he can only make the shoes from sizes 18 up to 51. But suppose you require a small size boat, 52 or a 65, or, oh, they nicked them. Some a lot bigger than that. No problem, can do. But exclusively Friday afternoon, then straight away weekend for resting. That's hard physical labor, and this is just made by a machine. Way more easy. Long time ago, most people in Holland all used to walk around on wooden shoes. And then specifically the poor people of society, they used the blank type clogs. Sometimes for distinguishment that it put a little decoration on it, but in basic it was still the same plain object. But for the Sundays, or a very important meeting or celebration, they had to clean them the night before with sand, cover them with chalk, and then they seemed to be new, clean, decent and proper. But we have a saying in Holland, beauty on top, shit on the bottom. For some more money, you could also buy the painted ones with a decoration like a leather shoe. But leather is not strong, and in these wetlands in about 2 months' time, a leather shoe is wasted. But wood would last for more than a year if you were careful enough. In the beginning, a thick sole, normally purchased October, November, before winter came. Thick sole in winter, good insulation, warm, dry, in summer run down, but still good to walk and very airy. No cheesy feet, no stinking socks. And suppose you step into a puddle, which might happen in your country during monsoon season. What happens then with your shoes? You'll be walking the rest of the day like which will never happen when you walk around on wooden shoes like this. You just flick them and they're dry in an instant. That's one of the reasons we use them in Holland for at least 2,000 years in our culture. Always crafted by hand, decorated locally, so you can tell by the shape, style and design of the shoe where somebody came from, profession, religion, married, single. It was like a passport. This one, for example, hinderlopen style. You want this? This hits better.
Oh! Got you. I thought you were a wooden too.
Stop hitting him. That's not polite. Or let me do it. Where was I? It's like a passport. This one, for example, hinderlopen style, so small birds and flowers. Symbolic for love and freedom. The flowers on the sides date from Middle Ages, over 1,000 years traditional. But these are the last ones, because now we all prefer to walk with leather shoes, soggy boots, stinky Nikes and worse. In the old days of Holland, you didn't have to bother about wedding rings and things like that. You could simply decorate 2 pairs of shoes being a boy, and when these were acceptable for the father of the bride being a wedding gift, used for that special ceremonial day, and afterwards never again. Because they said, if one of these clocks should break, regardless of the reason, the wedding was off. So you can imagine how simple divorce was handled in those days. End of marriage, end of my story. Here I have the machine. It's quite old, over 100 years approximately. And all I have to do, put in this block of wood. Especially for you, I will do this with a sort of Bollywood-like clock dance. Very sexy. Okay, well, this machine is causing quite some noise. The wood just fly all over the place. That's the safe corner where I'll be standing, but the killing zone is somewhere over there.
Oh.
Lots of luck. Half the wooden shoe. But it's not quite finished, it still needs a place to put your foot in. That will be done with this machine. And best of all, this machine is completely harmless, they say. And here I have the whole shoe, inside, outside, but the wood is quite wet and damp and needs about a fortnight for drying before we can continue. But I'm not that patient. Now it's only a week drying, saves a lot of time. Well, that's how we make them. Suppose you want to walk on them, the size is most important. Better a centimeter too much for a millimeter too little, because it's recipe for pain, blisters, agony, wounds, worse, and so on. If you buy one size bigger than usual, always good. Or easier, as long as you take 1 finger space between your heel and the wood, the size will be good. And if you don't notice anything else but your foot pressing on the bottom, without any side contacts, you found the right match. Well, that's the story of shoes. Over there you can experiment with them. On the other side we have some special offerings, small keychains, fridge magnets and things like that. Windmills on the cane, very nice. Over there, cheeses, biscuits and a wine for tasting. And it said about our wine, after one bottle or one fixed big glass, you can actually feel the Earth's rotation. After half the bottle you can understand Dutch speech. And after the whole bottle you are even capable of speaking Dutch. But it might sound like double Dutch. Wish you all the best. Very happy time here in Holland. Thank you.